What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you a look at the Bloodrager, as well as its archetypes in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, which is currently in beta. First things first, let's explain what a Bloodrager is. A Bloodrager is essentially what you get when you cross a barbarian with a sorcerer. So Bloodragers get Bloodlines, which I'll go over in just a minute, as well as essentially the same thing as the Barbarian Rage ability. Now, before we dive into basically anything here, I want to talk about a couple things. One, Bloodragers do get spells. However, they don't get any of them until level 4. Level 4 is when they gain their first caster level, which is Bloodrager technically, but they work like sorcerer spells in that they work off of your charisma. Now, you're only ever going to get up to spell level 4 for Bloodrager spells. Also, it's a decent thing to keep in mind that your caster level begins when you hit level 4. So your caster level at level 4 is only level 1. And the last thing I want to mention about this is that this is especially important because the only spells you can cast while you are blood raging are your Bloodrager spells. Now that we've discussed how the spells work for the sorcerer half of the Bloodrager, let's talk about the bloodlines, which come from the sorcerer part. You will be able to pick a bloodline, which is essentially an ancestry that gives you your blood raging powers. Now, for the most part, these are all individual and provide their own buffs regardless of what archetype you chose. The only real sort of interaction between a Bloodrager archetype in the game right now and the Bloodlines is purely the Primalist, because the Primalist archetype will let you, instead of picking a Bloodline power when you get to that level, you have the option to choose 2 Barbarian Rage powers instead that then work as Blood Rage powers. Some other things to keep in mind about the Bloodlines. So while it does not actually say on the level up sheet, the bonus feat section you see here will be given every few levels, starting at, I want to say it's level 7 or 8 or something like that. I don't remember exactly. It doesn't actually say that on the level up sheet that I normally show for this, so I just wanted to mention it. And then we see the bonus spells. Bonus spells you will get for your Bloodline regardless of picking them up for your spellbook. So for instance, the Abyssal line gets Ray of Enfeeblement at level 7, Bull Strength at level 10, Rage at 13, and Stone Skin at the 16th level. Other things to keep in mind for the Bloodlines are that all of the Draconic Bloodlines are basically the same, except the energy type they deal with for their breath weapon, as well as the type of dragon your Bloodline can turn into towards the end of the levels. Same thing for the elementals. But with that out of the way, let's talk more specifically about what some of these Bloodlines can do for you. Starting with the Abyssal Bloodline, you're going to pick up demon resistances. So you'll get resistance to acid, cold, and fire, which will increase a little bit as you level up. Then we also pick up Abyssal Blood Rage, which increases the bonuses of your Blood Rage, but also increases the penalties to your AC. We also pick up claw attacks at the first level. Then on the 4th level, these claw attacks are considered magic weapons for the purpose of overcoming damage resistance. And then at 8th level, the damage increases to 1 die 8. Basically gives you an extra size. And then lastly, at the 12th level, the claws become flaming weapons, which deal additional fire damage. Then at the appropriate levels I mentioned earlier, we get our bonus spells. The levels at which you get these are always the same for every Bloodline, which are 7, 10, 13, and 16. And then the Abyssal Bloodline picks up demonic immunities at level 20. Which will actually affect your character even outside of Blood Rages. That brings us to the Arcane Bloodline. So this comes with the Disruptive Blood Rage feat, which at first level, enemies within 10 feet of you have a -2 penalty on their concentration checks. This will stack with the regular Disruptive feat. At 4th level, when you enter a Blood Rage, you can also choose one of the spells from the following to apply to you, which is Blur, Protection from Arrows, and Resist Energy. Then you get Magic Missile at level 7, Greater Arcane Blood Rage at level 8, which will allow you to apply the effects of displacement or haste to yourself. You get the bonus spell Invisibility at level 10. At level 12, you get Caster's Scourge, which is kind of an amazing ability, to be honest. So all enemy casters in 10 feet of you have to make a concentration check against the DC here that you can see. And even while you are not blood raging, this is in effect. So you're basically just constantly making people fail spells. Then at level 13, we pick up Lightning Bolt, and at level 16, we pick up Dimension Door. In addition to this, we can pick up True Arcane Blood Rage, which when we enter our Blood Rage, we will be able to choose a following spell and apply it to yourself. This is Beast Shape 4, Form of the Dragon 1, or Transformation. This is in addition to the previous Blood Rages, so keep in mind that this adds on to those Blood Rages and isn't another option. Then we have the Celestial Bloodline. So at level 1, we are going to gain Angelic Attacks, which makes our melee attacks good aligned for the purposes of damage reduction. Furthermore, when we deal attacks to evil outsiders, we actually deal extra damage, which will stack with other effects. Furthermore, we gain Celestial Resistances, so we'll gain 5 to Acid and Cold at 4th and 12th level, increasing them to 10. At level 7, we'll gain the bonus spell Bless. At level 8, we'll pick up Conviction, which once per Blood Rage, we can re-roll the first failed skill check or saving throw we made. And then at level 10, we'll pick up Resist Energy as our bonus spell. At level 12, we'll pick up Wings of Heaven, which gives us feathery wings during our Blood Rage. Then at level 13, we pick up our bonus spell Heroism. At level 16, we pick up our bonus spell Crusader's Edge. And then at level 20, we actually become infused with the power of the heavens, granting immunity to acid, cold, petrification, as well as resistances to electricity and fire, as well as a +4 racial bonus on saving throws against poison, getting these effects constantly even outside of your Blood Rage. And then lastly, we have Angelic Protection at level 16, which grants us a +4 deflection bonus to AC, as well as a +4 resistance bonus on saving throws against attacks made by evil creatures. Now, this is where we move on to the Draconic Bloodlines. Keep in mind, I'm only going to cover this one, because they are all basically the same. Only thing that really changes here is the damage type for things like the breath weapon, as well as what kind of dragon you can turn into at level 16. So first things first, we pick up Draconic Resistance, increasing our resistance to our energy type, whatever that is, as well as a +1 natural bonus to AC. This increases a couple times as we level up. We also pick up Claws as level 1. Same thing as with, I believe it was Abyssal. At 4th level, they become magic. At 8th, they do increased damage. And then at 12th, they deal your energy type, in this case, as extra damage. At level 7, we gain our bonus spell Shield. At level 8, we pick up our Breath Weapon. Breath Weapons will deal 1d6 of energy type damage per Blood Rager level. Those caught in the area of the breath can reflex save. How big this is, or the shape of it, as they call it, depends on what type of dragon you are, as well as increasing the number of times per day you can use it at 16th and 20th level up to a max of 3 times a day. At level 10, we pick up our Resist Energy bonus spell. At level 12, we get Dragon Wings. At level 13, we pick up our bonus spell Heroism. At level 16, we pick up our bonus spell Fear. At level 20, we pick up our Bloodline ability Power of Worms, which will grant us immunity to paralysis, sleep, and damage from our energy type, as well as gaining Blind Sense within a range of 60 feet. You will have these effects constantly, even outside of Blood Rage. And then, most excitingly, at level 16, you will be able to take the form of your chosen dragon type, specifically as a Dragon Form 2, which should be pretty awesome. Now, that brings us to the elementals. Again, these are pretty much all the same, discounting what type of energy damage you're doing. At first level, you will gain elemental strikes. Several times a day, you will be able to add your element to your melee attacks to deal extra damage. And then with 8th level, you can use this ability 5 times a day, and then at 20th level, it just becomes permanent with no need to use an action to activate it. At 4th level, we gain energy resistance to our energy type. At 7th level, we gain the Burning Hands spell. However, the damage from Burning Hands, which is normally fire, will be whatever our element type was. Then at level 8, we pick up Elemental Movement, which will increase our base speed, as well as a +2 bonus on saving throws against spells and abilities that are your element. At level 10, we pick up Scorching Ray, again using the damage type of the element you've chosen. At level 12, we pick up Power of the Elements. At 12th level, the damage of our elemental strikes increases, as well as DCs of spells with our elemental descriptor increase by 2. At level 13, we pick up Protection from Energy as a bonus spell. At level 16, we pick up Elemental Body 1 as a bonus spell. And then at level 20, we gain immunity to sneak attacks, critical hits, and damage from our enemy type. This will be in effect constantly, even outside of Blood Rages. At 16th level, we also would have picked up the bonus of Elemental Form, which will allow us to take on our elemental form as Elemental Body 4. Now, moving on to the Fey Bloodline. At first level, Anytime we confirm a critical hit, the target must succeed at a will saving throw or be confused for 1 round. And it is a mind-affecting effect. At 4th level, we gain Leaping Charger, which makes us immune to difficult terrain. At level 7, we pick up the bonus spell Entangle. At level 8, we pick up Blurring Movement, which gives us the effects of a blur spell every time we move more than 10 feet. At level 10, we pick up the bonus spell Hideous Laughter. At level 12, we pick up Quickling Blood Rage, which means while we're blood raging, we are treated as if we are under the effect of haste. Then at 13, we pick up the bonus spell, Haste. Then at 16, we pick up the bonus spell, Confusion. And then at 20, we gain the ability of Fury of the Fey. When entering a blood rage, all of our melee attacks are considered to have the Bane enchantment. It does not, however, stack with other forms of Bane. At 16, we will have also picked up One with Nature, which means animals or plant types who come in 15 feet around you have to make a will saving throw or become fascinated. You will have that ability even when you are not blood raging. The Fascinate ability pacifies creatures until they are damaged. That brings us to the Infernal Bloodline. So we will pick up Infernal Resistances, which is Fire Resistance 5, as well as a +2 bonus to our saving throws against poison, and this will increase to double the amount at level 8. At level 1, we will also pick up Hellfire Strike, which allows us to infuse our attacks with Hellfire, which gives our melee attacks the Flaming Weapon special ability for 1 round. At 12th level, this increases to 5 times per day, and the effect is treated as a Flaming Burst. At level 7, we pick up the bonus spell, Protection from Good. At 8th level, we pick up Diabolical Arrogance, which will give us a +4 bonus on saving throws against enchantment and fear effects. At level 10, we pick up Scorching Ray as a bonus spell. At level 12, we pick up Dark Wings, which will give us bat-like wings when we enter our blood rage. At level 13, we get the bonus spell Fireball. And then at level 16, we get the bonus spell Shout. At level 20, we pick up Fiend the Pit, which grants us immunity to fire and poison, as well as granting resistance to acid and cold. You will have these effects constantly, even while not blood raging. We will also pick up Hellfire Charge. When we charge, the attack we make at the end of it will deal additional fire damage equal to 1d6 per 4 Blood Rager levels that you have. That brings us to the Serpentine Bloodline. So we will pick up Serpentine Resistances, giving us a +1 to our natural armor, as well as a +1 bonus to saving throws against poison. And then at 8th level and every 4 levels after, it increases those bonuses by 1. We will also pick up Serpentine Fang at 1st level, which will grant us a bite attack, dealing 1d8 damage. Additionally, it will apply a poison, dealing 1 constitution damage per round for 4 rounds. And then at 8th level, this will increase the damage to 1d2 constitution damage, and the duration to 5 rounds. Then at 16th level, it increases the damage to 1d4 constitution damage, as well as increasing the duration to 6 rounds. And also, the number of saves needed to cure the poison will increase to 2. At level 7, we pick up our bonus spell Expeditious Retreat. At 8th, we pick up Dazing Glare, which will let us 3 times per day attempt to daze an opponent in close range with our glare as a swift action. And this will get a will save to resist, and is a mind-affecting gaze. At level 10, we pick up our bonus spell Cat's Grace. At 12, we pick up Serpentine Elasticity, which will increase our reach by 5 feet during our blood rage. At 13, we will pick up our bonus spell Hold Person. At 16, we will pick up our bonus spell Touch of Slime. And then at 20, we will pick up Serpentine Body, granting us immunity to poison. Additionally, we will not be able to be caught flat-footed and will not provoke attacks of opportunity. We will have those effects constantly, even outside of our blood rage. And also at level 16, we will have picked up Serpentine Form, which allows us to, once per blood rage, turn into a Hydra as a free action. We will gain a +4 size bonus to Strength, a +2 size bonus to Constitution, as well as a +4 natural armor bonus, immunity to trip, and 5 bite attacks. And this will actually include our poison effect from our Serpentine Fangs ability. Now that brings us to our last bloodline, Undead. So at level 1, they will become a Frightful Charger. When we hit creatures with charge, that creature becomes shaken for a number of rounds. However, it will not increase the shaken effect to frightened or panicked, and it is a mind-affecting fear effect. Now at level 4, we pick up Ghost Strike, which makes our melee attacks be treated as if they had the Ghost Touch weapon special ability. At level 7, we pick up our bonus spell Snowball. At level 8, we will pick up Death's Gift, granting us cold resistance and negative energy resistance of 10. At level 10, we'll pick up the bonus spell False Life. At level 12, we'll pick up the ability Frightful Strikes. As a swift action, once per Blood Rage, we can empower our melee attacks with Fear. Creatures we hit with our melee attacks will become shaken. Creatures who are already shaken become frightened. This is a mind-affecting fear effect. At level 13, we will pick up the bonus spell Vampiric Touch. At level 16, we will pick up the bonus spell Innervation. And we will also pick up Incorporeal Bloodrager, which will allow us once per day to become incorporeal, which will allow us to only take half damage from magic sources and no damage from non-magic weapons and objects. And then at level 20, we can pick up One Foot in the Grave, which will give us immunity to cold, paralysis, and sleep. The DR from our damage reduction ability increases to 8. You will get a +4 morale bonus on saving throws made against spells and spell-like abilities cast by undead, and you will have these effects constantly even while not blood raging. That is what all of the bloodlines can do for you as a blood rager. So now that we have all of the bloodlines out of the way, let's talk about the base class as well as the actual archetypes. As a base class, we will have the class skills of Mobility, Athletics, Persuasion, Perception, Lore Nature, and Knowledge Arcana. In addition to our bloodline, we will also pick up Fast Movement, which grants us extra movement speed. And then we will also pick up Blood Rage, as I mentioned. And the Blood Rager base proficiencies are all simple and martial weapons, light and medium armor, and shields except tower shields. However, a Blood Rager can cast Blood Rager spells while wearing light or medium armor without incurring an arcane spell failure chance. This will not affect non-Blood Rager spells. However, at a base, wearing heavy armor or wearing a shield will incur an arcane spell failure chance if that spell uses components. So, in addition to all of those, a Blood Rager as a base will be given Uncanny Dodge, which will allow us to not be caught flat-footed unless we, for some reason, would be immobilized or have been successfully fainted by an enemy. At level 3, we get Blood Sanctuary, which basically gives us +2 on saving throws against spells that we ourselves or allies cast that we get caught in. And then we get Improved Uncanny Dodge at level 5, which will allow us to no longer be affected by flanking. Starting at level 7, we start picking up Damage Reduction, which will take 1 away from the damage of physical weapons or a natural attack, and this will increase up to 5 by level 19. Level 11, we start picking up Greater Blood Rage, which increases our bonuses from Blood Rage, as well as granting us a spell we know of 2nd level or lower as a free action. This will still consume the spell slot, however. And then at level 14, we pick up Indomitable Will, which grants us a +4 bonus to will saves against enchantment spells while blood raging, as well as stacking with other modifiers, including the morale bonus from your blood rage. At level 17, we pick up Tireless Blood Rage, which will make sure that we are no longer fatigued at the end of a blood rage, very similarly to a barbarian. And then at level 20, we will pick up Mighty Blood Rage. This will increase our bonuses from being in blood rage again, and will remove the level limit of the spells we can cast as a byproduct of the Greater Blood Rage class feature. So that brings us to the Bloodrider archetype. So, the Bloodrider loses the fast movement as well as the uncanny dodge abilities of the base class. However, they pick up Fast Rider, which will allow you to push a mount to its limit by increasing its movement speed by 10 feet. However, unfortunately, we will not actually get that mount until level 5, and it will be a -4 compared to our level, basically meaning that at level 5, our mount will be level 1. This can be offset with the Boon Companion feat, however. Now, unfortunately, there is one more ability you get as part of this Bloodrider archetype. However, it is blank text right now, so I have absolutely no idea what it's supposed to be, but you will get it at level 9. That brings us to our Green Rager abilities. So, best I can tell, you don't really lose anything for picking this up besides Blood Sanctuary, which gets traded out for Unfettered Fury, which allows you to move through difficult terrain at normal speed and without taking damage or suffering any other impairment. And then starting at level 6, you actually start getting summons. So you will be able to summon Nature's Ally at level 6. At level 7, you'll be able to summon Nature's Ally 2 as a bonus 2nd level Blood Rager spell. And then at 10, you get Summon Nature's Ally 3 as a bonus Blood Rager spell. Then at 13, you get Summon Nature's Ally 4 as a 4th level Blood Rager spell. At level 9, they actually pick up Furious Summoning, which means that creatures summoned by those spells get a morale bonus of +4 to strength and constitution, as well as being granted the Woodland Stride ability. At 11th level, this increases to a +6 bonus, and at 20th level, it increases to a +8 bonus. And then we pick up the Primalist archetype. So, like I mentioned, the trade-off for the Primalist is actually in the Bloodline stuff. So instead of choosing a Bloodline power, or getting a Bloodline power, we can instead choose to take 2 Barbarian Rage powers. So that's the trade-off there. You don't actually see it in this base class sheet here. And that brings us to Spell Eaters. So Spell Eaters trade off their damage reduction for, first of all, at level 2, the Blood of Life, which will allow them to recover from their wounds. At 2nd level, while blood raging, they will gain fast healing 1, and then at 7th level and every 3 levels after that, they will increase their fast healing 1 to a maximum of fast healing 6 at 19th level. And moreover, at level 5, they will also pick up Spell Eating. This will allow a Bloodrager to consume their spell slots for healing. So as a swift action, you can consume a spell slot to heal 1d8 damage for each level of the spell slot consumed. So at like level 4, that would be 4d8 per spell slot. And that brings us to our last archetype, the Steel Blood. First things first, we replace our damage reduction from the base class with armor training. This will reduce the armor check penalty of that armor, as well as increase the maximum dexterity bonus of it by 1 each. Each 4 levels afterwards of level 5, these bonuses will increase up to a maximum of -4 reduction of the armor check and a maximum of +4 dexterity bonus allowed. Also, this will allow you to move in medium armor at normal speed, and then at normal speed with heavy armor at level 7. Also at level 1, you will pick up Indomitable Stance, which gives you a +1 bonus to combat maneuver checks, as well as defenses against combat maneuvers. This will also give you a +1 bonus to AC against charge attacks on attack and damage rolls for charging creatures. If you haven't figured it out by now, you will also of course gain proficiency in heavy armor, as well as be able to use heavy armor without incurring an arcane spell failure chance. And then at level 2, you will actually pick up Armored Swiftness, which will let you move in heavy armor 5 feet faster than normal in that armor. And then at level 7, we pick up Blood Deflection. This will let us, as a swift action, sacrifice a Bloodrager spell slot to gain a deflection bonus to AC equal to the level of the spell sacrificed for the end of our next turn. That is all of the class mechanics related to the Bloodrager class. Personal opinions, I think this class is awesome. You get so much. There are so many choices and options that completely change what this does. Like there's so many bloodlines that will change all the archetypes. There's so many archetypes that change the base class. Like this class is just spoiled for options. It's ridiculous. Which is why honestly I'll probably be playing one pretty soon because of how awesome this class is. It combines 2 of the very popular class choices, barbarians as well as sorcerers. So there's a lot here to love. Now with that out of the way, I hope you'll consider supporting the creation of more content in the future by checking out my merch store. But regardless, I truly appreciate each and every one of you simply for watching these videos, as well as, if you would, like, commenting, and subscribing to help out that YouTube algorithm. But again, truly, thank you guys. I literally couldn't do this without you guys watching. So, with nothing left to say, may you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.